Small talk is big talk, and it can change your life if you can master it. Keep watching until the end, and I will reveal the one thing that really helped me to understand small talk and feel really comfortable in awkward situations. What is small talk? Well, small talk is a light conversation between friends, acquaintances, strangers. It's basically talking to someone and staying away from controversial topics. So it's very light-hearted, you're getting to know someone, you're making the other person feel less awkward, and the conversation can flow a bit easily. The phrase making small talk is quite interesting. So if you think about making something or building something, I like to describe it as building a bridge between you and the other person. And this can help to build rapport. So rapport means building a friendly, harmonious relationship with the other person. In the beginning, it's nice to have a bit of structure. This will make you feel less anxious. So some of the common topics for small talk can be life, weather, food, travel, and work. There are a lot of variables when it comes to small talk. Depends on the situation. Are you at work, at a conference, or something a bit more informal, such as a party? So let's have a look at the introduction. So when you first meet someone, it's quite relaxed, quite easy and natural. For example, hi, how are you? Hi, how are you doing? How's your day been? Or how's your day going? Talking about life can be quite nice because it blends quite well with the introduction. Maybe you have just finished your weekend, so you could say something like, how was your weekend? What did you get up to on the weekend? If you're towards the end of the week, you could ask, do you have any plans for the weekend? Are you getting up to anything interesting on the weekend? Now, when you say, do you have any plans for the weekend? It can be quite easy to get shut down. The other person may say no, because often we may not plan ahead. In this case, I like to ask, what will you be doing on the weekend? Or how will you spend your time on the weekend? So they may say, I'm relaxing, I may just be watching TV. In this case, we're searching for little clues, and that leads on to asking about, are you watching anything on telly? Now, telly is an informal word for TV. Or are you watching any interesting shows? Another open-ended question about life is basically, what have you been up to lately? So you are not putting pressure on the other person to give an amazing answer. It's just giving little bits of information about what they have done recently. Maybe they've traveled, maybe they've been snowed under with work. In this case, you can think of yourself as a detective. You're searching for little clues, so then you can extend the question. Now, in English, this is part of asking probing questions, such as using what or why. Next, we have the weather. Now, the weather is a universal topic all around the world, especially in the UK and London, where the weather changes all the time, and generally it is miserable. Now, you can ask some questions such as, it's so gloomy today, I can't wait until summer. If you spot someone carrying an umbrella, you could say, you did well for carrying your brolly with you today. Now, brolly is an informal word for umbrella. You could say, this weather has been all over the place, if it's been very unpredictable. Or even, when will this rain stop? It's been pouring all day. Next up is work. Now, with work, it depends on if you know the person at work. Maybe they're in the same department or a different department. In this case, you could ask them, "Hi, how's work going?" If you don't know the person, you could ask, "What field of work are you in?" And once they give you the response, you can start to probe a little bit further. For example, what do you enjoy about your job? If they say they don't like their job, you can ask them, what aspects of your job do you find interesting, or what things do you find interesting about your job? You could ask them, are you able to work remotely? And this can branch off onto different topics. For example, there's something called Zoom fatigue. Fatigue is another word for feeling tired. And a lot of people were feeling tired from having so many online meetings. It was taking the brain some time to process people's facial reactions. And so some people felt more tired with online meetings than actual face-to-face meetings. And by just reading in general about news or entertainment can help you to add bits of information into making small talk. You could ask the person, do you have any perks? So perks means anything additional to the job. That's something that is extra. For example, they may receive childcare benefits, free breakfast, etc. Now we have travel. So you could ask someone, did you manage to get away anywhere nice this year? If you're approaching the summer, that's perfect. You could ask them, are you planning on going anywhere? If they're not, you could ask them, if you could go somewhere, where would you want to go? Then when they give you a response, you again can branch off and talk about that particular place. If they say they've been to Paris, for example, you could say, so I've never been there. Can you tell me what are some nice things to see or to do there? Next up is food. You could ask someone, is there a nice place to grab a bite to eat? If you are new to the area and you like coffee or a particular food or a drink, you could ask them, I really like coffee. Are there any good coffee shops around here? If you are a foodie, you could offer some advice to someone. You could say, I've been to so-and-so and they serve really good food. The one thing that really helped to change my perspective with small talk was understanding and recognizing the other person's presence. And for me, this made things click. So by saying hello and engaging in some kind of small talk, I'm acknowledging the other person. The interaction, it feels less forced, it feels very natural, and it can lead on to longer conversations if you want to. So the main thing is being really relaxed and thinking of yourself as a detective where you're searching for some clues to feed off. So if they give you some information about food or travel, for example, you can respond and you can take the conversation as far as you want to. So the conversation starts off general and it can develop into something more specific. Now what can happen is you can end up talking about the weather a bit too much, and say you want to end the conversation or change the topic, you can just use the word so and add your exit. So for example, so it was great catching up. I have to run, but I will send you an email. Or it's been really lovely meeting up. I have to run, but I'll catch up with you soon. Small talk is great for networking in life in general, but also for the workplace. The more that you talk to someone, the more you find out from their personal experience. They may know a good dentist, a good doctor, a good school in the workplace. They may know of a job opening or a position that you may be interested in. And it's just nice in general. So you walk away from that interaction feeling like you've made a genuine connection with someone, even though it may feel quite superficial, but it's just spreading some sunshine and happiness, and I think it's a good thing to practice. Speaking of practice, a good thing to do is when you go to the supermarket and you're at the checkout, just engage in some friendly conversation with the person. Ask them about how their day is going. Do they have long left of their shift? Are they having a good day? This way you can start to go outside of your comfort zone, and it's good practice for when you are in other social situations. Thank you so much for watching. I would really appreciate it if you like, share and subscribe this video, and let me know in the comments what you find difficult about making small talk. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.